Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Last week I showed you a video about the basics of funding graduate entry medicine, the loans and the bursaries that are available. And this week I just wanted to talk to you a little bit more about how I personally funded my way through medical school. I made a lot of mistakes and I thought I'd share my experience with you so that you guys don't make the same mistakes that I did, and hopefully you can learn something along the way. So let's get into it. So if you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I did a degree before and then I did graduate entry medicine. I'm the sort of person who's normally quite organised, and I spent a long time researching how I was going to fund the course. I didn't have any money saved, but I had heard there was a loan you could get from the bank called a career development loan. My sister had had one, that was how she funded her law school, and I thought that I would be able to get a career development loan to do medicine. I was completely wrong, and I only found this out a few weeks before I actually started the course. So I was banking on the idea that I had a few £1,000s coming in the form of a loan from the bank in order to pay for my tuition fees for medicine. The bank will only accept applications a certain number of weeks before you start the course. So I didn't actually find out that they were rejecting me for that loan until about, I think it was like 6 weeks before I started medicine. So that was an absolute bummer. And suddenly I realised I was going to have to find about, well, just over £3,000 out of my own money to pay for the remainder of the tuition fees. So at this point, I was worrying about whether I could even start the course, and I was just freaking out about the finances of it. So what did I do? I did qualify for some student loan from Student Finance England. I used some of my living expenses loan to pay for my tuition fees, and then I whacked the rest of it on a 0% credit card and tried to pay that off through the year. That was not fun. I had the stress of moving to a new city, a brand new course, and it being quite a hard course, as well as all this financial worry, and I was working my little butt off. I had a job as a healthcare assistant. I was already on the nurse bank, which meant that I could pick and choose shifts as and when they came in. This was quite good in terms of flexibility, and also the pay was more than minimum wage, which was a bonus. However, it did mean that there was some uncertainty about whether I would get money coming in from month to month, because sometimes there weren't the shifts available, or sometimes I'd have to travel quite far for the shifts, which was pretty tiring, especially as I didn't have a car. So I was doing GEM from Monday to Friday, and then studying all through the evenings and also seeing friends. And at the weekends I was working. So I got exhausted. I managed to pay off my tuition fee loan, but then it got to about a year and a half into the course and I thought something had to give, because I had zero free time. This was the point at which I decided to open an Etsy shop. I had a friend who'd opened an Etsy shop and she'd done quite well out of it. There were quite a few tutorials online about how you could set up a successful shop, and I'm quite a crafty person anyway. I was doing quite a lot of knitting at that time, and friends and family often asked me to knit things for them, so I decided to put my knitted items online and actually try and make a bit of profit from it. I said to myself that as long as I was earning over £100 each month from my Etsy shop, that I could cut down my nurse bank work and actually try and live off the money that I was making from the shop. I don't know if any of you guys have ever thought about opening an Etsy shop, or if you've got one, but it's quite addictive, because once you see the sales coming in, you want to make more things and you want to sell more, and it's just so much fun. It's really satisfying to be able to make money from home. So I felt like I was gaining my life back, and I actually felt like I had this new lease of life in me. I wasn't having to give up all my weekends being at the hospital, and I was actually able to have more time at home, and that was just fantastic. In my first year, where I was struggling to pay that extra £3,000, I applied for every bursary I could find. I spent ages researching what you needed to be eligible for each bursary, and I applied, and I did not get a single one. So I would just kind of put a word of warning to not rely on bursaries and grants, even though it looks like there's loads out there, and I'm not trying to put you off applying to them, but they're not a surefire way of gaining any finances for the course. So by all means apply for them, do your research, and there are some fantastic ones out there. It just wasn't something that I was eligible for, so I didn't get any money from that. So I had to be quite self-reliant. And this is by no means any kind of sob story. I did work hard during university and I had to fund a lot of it through my own steam and my own hard work. But I'm really proud that I did. And also I had a great time still. I was able to save money and go on nice holidays still and enjoy time with my friends and family. In my last video, I spoke about the loans and bursaries that are available from the NHS and from Student Finance England. So I'll link that in the description box below. I just wanted to give you guys an overview of my personal situation while I was studying. If you've got any questions, then please leave them as a comment below, but give this video a thumbs up if it's been any way helpful. I'll see you next time. Bye.